I think everybody in the room of convention will have heard him say super at least once, because that was one of his favorite words. It was just this encouraging, that's great, I'm with you, we've got this kind of thing. And it was just wonderful.
So when I came into the diocese, part of the vision was to help congregations thrive. And for me, that means connecting them with this idea about being the reign of Christ in community. And lo and behold, several people said to me, "Have you met Martin yet?" And when Martin and I first sat down, what he did was laid out the concrete steps to bring vestries and congregational leaders into a vision for what it meant to be the reign of Christ in their church congregation. He put action steps to dreams.
He would work with a group, divide them into separate groups, 4 separate groups, maybe answering a conversation that would lead to developing a vision for who that congregation could be. And the groups were always stunned when those 4 things came together in a solid document. And it was so clear to them and to him, because it was his intention always. He wasn't telling them what to think or what to do or what they should do. He was pulling it out of them. He was drawing it out of them in prayer. And so that when they went forward from that work with him, they owned it. They owned what he had given them. Just being able to stand on their feet and understand who they were now, who they could be, and what was at the heart of this congregation. What did God want them to do? And always, always, always servant leadership, because that was the heart of who Martin Darby has always been, and it's the gift he's left to us.
He was impish about Christ. He would get that delighted look of someone who was doing something almost naughty about preaching, or about going to visit with the vestry, or this story about how a church had discovered prayer. But he approached it with the same delight as a small child pulling a prank, almost like he had convinced them to do something that they wouldn't have done themselves, except that what he had really done was just gotten them to be themselves in the first place. And he would get this little smirk, and then his eyes would light up following his turn of the mouth, and then he would just overflow with almost a giggling joy. So when I got the last call, the Reverend Kellen Day from St. James called. She had been his priest his last couple of years. And so I had been to see him in the hospital, I think twice, and then went back to see Sam, his niece, who was there with him. And it was really clear it was the end. And even though it wasn't the time for convention, I pulled a Cuthbert Cross and had it framed. And we went and did the presentation there at his bedside, as we did last rites. It shouldn't be hard to say goodbye to saints. You know, I believe with all my heart he was just stepping painfully through a door in which there's no pain on the other side. There's a sort of famous line that John Ortberg said about Dallas Willard. I wonder if anybody's told him he's dead yet.
Martin, I wish I had had more time to thank you, but I hope all of our conversations let you know how dearly I have loved you, how dearly I love you still, and how you changed me forever going forward. I thank you for the summer we spent studying servant leadership together. It changed who I am as a priest and how I work in this diocese. And I feel like now and always I will carry you with me with enormous gratitude. I'm grateful that you are beyond pain and filled with joy. And I hope you know from where you sit that you have transformed things on this earth in a beautiful way. Thank you.